Welcome. Uh, you saw the title of my stream last night. Today was a big day for a lot of different reasons. Yeah, the Coinbase IPO. Powell was speaking, but really not much was said, I believe. Or really nothing too new. And the market pullback, we're really going to talk about the stock market. If you've been watching this stream for the last few days, you were prepared for what happened a little bit in the afternoon, even though it wasn't too crazy at all. But we'll get into everything, just starting off with Coinbase. I mean, there's really no technicals to be done on this, obviously. I'm on like the 5-minute chart. Hopefully the audio is fine. But yeah, I'm on the 5-minute chart. I mean, really, Coinbase IPO, it went up a little bit, then it pulled back throughout the rest of the afternoon. I have no idea where Coinbase is going to be going the next few days. I do think that their business model has already been proven, so long term, the fundamentals are there. It's just you have to really start thinking about the valuation and doing all of that math, which I have not done. So I don't know, just bringing it up, it was interesting to see how important this was, how much volume there was. Obviously, like the listing price, we will look at Palantir. We'll do the ticker request later on in the stream, though. Usually like 20 to 25 minutes in the stream is when I do ticker requests, but it was interesting to see, you know, Bitcoin pulling back. A lot of other crypto stocks like really felt today. We can look at some of those as well, but yeah, I mean, it definitely was important because this IPO has been so hyped up for so long, and it's like the type of IPO that really, depending on how people react to it, can have effects like all throughout the market. So really, I think that pullback, and I'm going to go to the stock market in a second here, I think that pullback in the stock market was a mix of both the IPO craze, obviously the technicals on the S&P have been looking pretty bad for the last few days, which we're going to look at, but let's just go look at Bitcoin, which had a very good morning, I believe, like really late at night last night, but then yeah, you got all the way up to almost 65k on Bitcoin, but then you pulled back pretty much around when the IPO was happening. It wasn't too bad of a pullback. The trade I put out on Bitcoin, or the most recent trade I put out on Bitcoin, still up 8%. It was up 12% at one point today. So yeah, it pulled back about 4%. That's not too crazy. Your RSI still looks good. Your daily MACD still looks good. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is still really bullish. I mean, of course, it's already at a very high level and anything is possible. But for the short term, as long as you're above 60k, I don't see any reason to worry about anything, right? Stay over 60k. and Bitcoin's completely fine. You don't even have to really sweat it, you know. Just set up your alert. If it ever gets there, that's when you start thinking about, all right, what's going on? But until then, there's not too much to talk about. The other two crypto trades that I put out, one of them, it was up nicely in profit at one point. Like, look at this, how volatile this one's been. At one point, this trade was up 9%. Then earlier today, when cryptos were pulling back, this trade was down 4%. And now this trade's down about 1% right now. So a lot of volatility with altcoins today. Like Chainlink has been crushing it, I believe. XRP also has been crushing it. And then this is another crypto trade I put out, BNT. It was like a couple hours ago, it was moving pretty nicely. At one point, it was up 8%. Now it's only up about 5% since the entry. So we'll see how that develops. But yeah, let's talk about the stock market now and what's going on there. Pretty much on Sunday night, I put out a tweet. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's at ChampionVibe. But yeah, I put out a tweet on Sunday night saying I thought really my bias going into the week was Bitcoin looked pretty good, and you obviously saw that Bitcoin went to all-time highs today, so that's a check right there. Then I also said I think tech and like large cap stocks will pull back. The Nasdaq was down 1%, the S&P was down 0.5%. They pulled back today, but I also said I think small caps can bounce, and the Russell index, which kind of tracks those small caps, was up 1% today, and it was up much higher at one point as well during the day, but it did pull back. So that was really what happened today was not a surprise to me at all. This is exactly, you know, I was doing my homework over the weekend looking at charts, and Bitcoin looked good, the S&P and the Nasdaq looked kind of bad, but the Russell looked good, and all three of those things played out today. So hopefully, if you've been in the streams, you kind of got the heads up on those things. The technicals on the S&P still look pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. Futures are up a little bit right now on the S&P and the Nasdaq, like overnight, but we'll see how they continue to develop. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, on the S&P, you had a daily bearish engulfing candle, which is not optimal. I mean, that's not the candle you want to see at the top of range. That could be a reversal area. And then if we look at the 4 hour, you're inches away from confirming classic bearish divergence. So not good either. The S&P 500 is like the most simplified way to look at the US stock market because it's more diversified than other indices. And you literally, on the 4 hour, you took out like 1, 2, 3. You took out 3 of the previous 4 hour candles that were green and one red candle. And then remember, we've been looking at this RSI on the S&P 500. Last 2 times it was overbought. You had an 8 to 10% drop in the market. So, and this was just like a little 0.5% move. There is still so much more to the downside. But if you've been watching the stream, I've been warning about this area for days now, and finally you did see that pullback, even looking like at the 1 hour, and I shared this with the Discord earlier today, you had this rising wedge. And you broke out of that rising wedge to the downside. That's really where it all started. So technicals were screaming that this was going to happen, and not only just this, but a lot more could happen. So I am midterm bearish on the S&P 500, but I actually still am bullish on the Russell, because on the Russell, you're still showing that hidden bullish divergence, right? So you're starting to see rotation yet again, which is what I was talking about all of last week, that you really saw, you know, in the last few weeks, you've been seeing tech, like large cap tech names doing very, very well, like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla. But the small caps have just been getting crushed while the S&P goes to an all-time high. And I've been saying, I think you're going to start seeing some rotation where those large cap stocks start pulling back and those smaller names can start bouncing. And a good amount of those smaller ones did bounce. And a lot of the trades, they held up pretty well despite the market on the S&P and the Nasdaq being a red day. A lot of the trades did do well today. Some of them did not do good at all. They kind of fell with the S&P. And we're going to go over those as well. We had like 4 trades getting stopped out today, but again, you know, going forward, there might be a situation where I'm gonna have to start putting out short trades if this market gets bearish. But again, I'm not trying to spread fear or anything. I'm just literally interpreting the technicals. And on the flip side, I was super bullish when you were down here on the S&P 500, and obviously that's been a very nice run since then, right? But yeah, we're gonna look at the tickers here in a second. So let's just start off with like the trade sheet, see what's up with that. Not even gonna really zoom into it. Again, a lot of these trades got stopped out. They were not really trades from this week. They were ongoing swing trades from like last week, the week before, We're going to look at the charts, but yeah, just a lot of things got stopped out when the market pulled back. They were already close to getting stopped out coming into today, so not surprising at all. And then let's just see how many. About 6 trades are down and about 13 trades are in profit right now. We'll see how those continue to develop. I really did close out. I think I closed out 4 trades yesterday. It's not always going to be optimal. Again, when I'm trying to manage all of these trades at the same time, it's a little bit hard to perfectly get the right call on each one. So there were some trades I closed out that went up today, and there were some trades I closed out that went down today. So it really was it was a little bit picky. Just because I close a trade on the sheet doesn't mean you have to sell if you're in that trade. It's just like, it just pretty much means I'm not as confident as I once was in the short term for that stock, right? I could easily just make a higher low and keep going, but we got a guy in hat in the chat right now. Let's go. And yeah, we're going to take a look at those individual tickers, and then after that we're going to do chat requests. But yeah, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're closing in on the first month of premium trades. 3 out of the 4 weeks were green weeks for the premium members. The first week was the only week that was red, and that was my worst week in like 5 months. But every single week after that first week has been a nice green week for the premium members. If you want to join for the second month is pretty much starting this week, at the end of this week, so you can join whenever you want. The link for that's in the description. Russell index trades incoming. Yeah, we can take a look at things that the Russell tracks, kind of see if they'll correlate with the Russell even if the S&P is falling. There's going to be a lot of situations where you kind of can't really predict it super accurately, but what you can do is react, right? So you really want to start using those screeners, heat maps, and all those things to kind of just see where the money's flowing into. You want to see what the usual unusual options flow, all of those things that you can view on your screeners. But yeah, we already talked about the S&P, bearish technicals all around. NASDAQ, kind of not, I wouldn't really say a lot of bearish technicals, but really there's nothing bullish at the same time. You did have a daily bearish engulfing candle on the NASDAQ. We already talked about the Russell. So that really covers everything, just looking at some of the trades. Gonna start off with the ones that got stopped out. We have to start off with Fisker. It's a tough situation because maybe the trade was just wrong. Obviously, I wish I would have put down a lower entry. It was just like, it was holding that $16 support, which is why I put it out over here. And it just didn't work. I've put out probably 6 or 7 like major trades on Fisker, and probably 5 of those were very nice winners. And I've also put out like a bunch of different day trades back in like November and December. So yeah, I mean, it happens. Can't always be correct on where this one's gonna go. I mean, it sucks that you couldn't hold 1455. This was your first daily candle close that was really below it. But the thing is, like, you're oversold on the 4-hour. The only other time you were oversold on the 4-hour on Fisker is when you went from $9 all the way up to 23. So this was the last time you oversold. It was down here on the 4-hour. So yeah, the trade got stopped out because the entry was higher, but I still would not be surprised if randomly Fisker just goes up 15% one day. Now why? Because 15% move would literally just be this. I mean, that's nothing compared to how much it recently sold off in a month without any real bad news. So it kind of sucks because I still personally believe that Fisker is going to bounce in the short term, but the trade did get stopped out and the original idea was incorrect. So I mean, I don't know, maybe, the trade stopped out today, maybe literally Fisker goes back up tomorrow. That's how weird it might be. Typically, that's not how it is. It's just there was a looser stop on this trade because you had a bullish butterfly PCZ, the 200-day moving average, you had this major support, just no interest in Fisker at any of those supports. So you're oversold. I think eventually you're going to bounce somewhere between here and really your next major support, in my opinion, is around like $13. So it could be anywhere within there, but we'll see how it continues to develop. It's just, I have a feeling that it got stopped out and then it's just going to run in a few days and we'll reassess it, right? You can always trade something multiple times like we've done with Fisker. But yeah, the other ones, Sundial, this trade did get stopped out, but yesterday you had an opportunity to break even on this trade. I put it out on Saturday. On Monday, it was down like 5-6%. Then yesterday, on Tuesday, it was up and it went back to the entry. So you did have an opportunity to break even on this trade yesterday. If you didn't, though, it did run back down to the stop. And then even so, like, even if you did hold it going into today, you could have easily saw that it broke the 95-cent support, which I did have on my chart when I put out the trade. Just again, it's tough swing trading. That's why I'm trying to start putting out some more day trades. Like there was a SPY day trade I shared with everybody in the Discord. It started off red. Well, actually, it started off green for a little bit, and then it went to red, and then today it was like up. I think the premiums on that option was like $1.60 when I shared it with everybody yesterday, and the premiums went up to like $2 today. And yeah, the warrant redemptions on Fisker. And then the other one, Clover, again, it looked great on the 1 hour, and just because it didn't play out doesn't mean it didn't look great. You were back testing your previous resistance as a support, you had hidden bullish divergence developing, but you broke your support when the market fell. So again, that's just the issue with the market right now. It's like an individual stock can be looking good, but if you get a pullback like you did on the S&P today, you can just take whatever it wants down with it, right? And that stop did help because it went lower than the stop, as you can see. And then the final one, this one was pretty much already stopped out yesterday. It was just like, it looked like it kind of got stop hunted. So I'm like, all right, I'll just give it one more day. But we already talked about this trade yesterday. I'm not going to really go too much into that. But yeah, we'll see how all those continue to develop. I just wanted to start off with the ones that didn't work out. And now we'll take a look at the other ones that are still ongoing. VIR, I think I alerted this on Monday. And it's currently up about 4% since Monday. We'll see what it does. Very nice bounce off the 200-day moving average. First target's pretty much like $49, so you're at 45.48. Trades in profit. We'll see what happens. UVXY went up today as the S&P pulled back, and it's pretty much right back to the entry. So we'll see what happens. Again, if you look at the daily, you have confirmed classic bullish divergence on the UVXY, and you definitely did break out of this falling wedge. So if the S&P pulls back, this is probably going to move up. Next one, ATRA, really was just a flat day. You did test 1433, and unfortunately you rejected. That's the major area where you really want to be above 1433. You tested it this morning, but you cannot break above it. Trade still at a loss. CCIV, another trade, still at a loss. Again, kind of similar to Fisker and a lot of other EVs. Like they start putting in nice bounces, and then they can't get any continuation. There's no hype for the EVs right now, like there was a couple months ago. And yeah, the trade was in profit at one time, no longer is. Zoom is up just by a little bit. It was up, I mean, this is exactly what I'm saying. Like you get the nice bounces, but then they just sell right back off. And that's just what's happening with a lot of swings right now, which is why I'm, leaning more towards day trades. But 5% move right there on Zoom yesterday, pulled back today, trade's only up 1%. And then the final one, PGRE, is up 6% since the entry. You had a 4-hour candle close above 1053, as you can see right here, but then when the S&P pulled back, it pulled back with it. I've been saying this every night on stream for over a week. All you gotta do is break 1053. You closed 1 cent under that. All you gotta do is break that on a daily close, and there's no resistance until the targets. And you did, or you're very close to confirming your hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So that's really just how I'm looking at it. Why bother with trades in this market? Best to just wait. Lost so much already. I mean, you can always do what you want, just because I'm putting out a trade doesn't mean you have to be in it, right? And on the flip side, like yes, for a lot of the member trades, they've not been doing well in the last 2 weeks, but on the flip side, I've been putting out premium trades for the last 3 weeks. They've been green weeks. So in this market condition, the premium trades have been doing very, very well in the last 3 weeks. It's just a really bad, how do I put it? Just not good circumstances. A lot of those premium trades were like tech trades. So obviously a lot of those tech names are running up. Like Baba was a premium trade, Apple, Fubo was a premium trade. What was it? Clover was a premium trade when it had that big pop last week. There was another one. Can't even remember it. But yeah, I mean, it's just 50-50 where like a lot of these trades are playing out, especially for the premium ones. And I'm not doing anything different for the premium trades. It's just like there were a lot more tech related trades, so we'll see how they continue to play out, but there are a few more. It depends on what it is, and who knows when things can turn around, and that's why I'm not really putting out any new swing trades. I put out one new swing trade for the premium members today, which is already in profit, but other than that, like I'm really not putting out swing trades while the S&P is up here, right? VIR was kind of the last swing trade I put out for everybody else in the Discord, and that also is in profit by 4%, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I'm already, laying back with the swing trades for now, because you're right. And I've been saying this for a few days, it's just not optimal conditions for that. So we'll see what happens. And that really covers all of the ongoing trades. Low volume at the top, the bull run while oversold. Yeah, the technicals you're seeing right now on the S&P 500 are scary. You're at the 1618 fib extension from the COVID crash. 4-hour classic bearish divergence, daily bearish engulfing candle. You're at the top of the ascending broadening wedge, decreasing volume. Like the whole entire S&P chart is just bearish. That doesn't mean it's 100% gonna drop. Again, all this is just probability, and you are in the greatest bull market ever. So, bearish indicators tend to underperform in very bullish circumstances, as Mitch Ray would say, but you are getting a lot of them on the S&P, but it's not on everything, right? There still are going to be value stocks that are going to have bounces just because of the levels that they're at. And yeah, that kind of covers everything. If you want me to take a look at a chart for you, or to any ticker, a crypto, a stock, futures, OTC, I don't really prefer OTC, but just because they're really hard to chart. Drop that in the chat. I don't know, not too many people in here tonight, so it's probably just going to be a very quick recap stream, and then I'll probably just get out of here. And then we'll stream tomorrow for the final stream of the week. But yeah, for the people who are in here, just drop some tickers. I'll run through however many tickers you want to, however many you want me to look at, and then we'll probably call it after that. Get back to it tomorrow. DraftKings, yeah, Kathy would have been buying a lot of DraftKings with Rooster sharing those ARC trades in the Discord. DraftKings, Neo, CRDF. I mean, this could be a harmonic. I don't know, we'll see. Could it be a bat? Yeah, this is pretty much like a bullish bat harmonic pattern, and you might get a confirmation low. It's not like you're not perfectly at the PCZ by any means, but you were pretty close. That would definitely be a bat in my opinion. It's a little, like, again, not super precise, but I think it's close enough. Really, as long as you hold over 791, this looks fine, but obviously that means you have more than 10% of downside just to get to your major support. And your MACD on the daily does not look so hot, but on the 4-hour you do have classic bullish divergence developing. So hold above 791 and you could see a run up to at least like the 200-day moving average, which is quite a bit higher. DraftKings, again, it's not a confirmed head and shoulders until you break that neckline. As long as you're above 57.26 on DraftKings, you're good. That's all you got to do. Hold 57.26 and DraftKings is fine. And eventually you can show hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It's already developing. It's kind of looking a little bit choppy, but it's possible. You even had a bullish pin bar candle yesterday. Unfortunately, you had a nice open, but then you kind of sold off with the market in the afternoon. You just want 57.26 as your level. Neo, I say this every single night that we look at it, and this is why I'm just laying back for a while on Neo. It's like you're bullish above 38, you're bearish under 38, but the thing is you keep going back and forth. You're just ping-ponging right above 38, right under 38. So you just, if we really look at like the 1 hour, you're just kind of in this range right here, as you can see. If I just take out this middle orange line, you see, like, you're just kind of range bound right now in Neo. The bears and the bulls are just kind of fighting right now. And this is not like an ongoing trade. That was kind of canceled out. And then on the daily, let's go back to the daily. You did have that's like a textbook bearish engulfing candle, where that red candle was much bigger than the green one before it, and it engulfed it. EIS, Bucks, Blue, Tilray, DS, COP, TRCH, HQY. All right, Disney. I don't know. I mean, I believe you're around like all-time highs, and 181 is your level to hold. Okay, 181 was your support here. It was your support here, and it was your resistance right there. All you want to do is hold that. As long as you can hold that, you're fine. You break that, then we're talking there's room down to like 160. Okay, so you want to hold 181. BUX, probably just, there's no really perfect way to line this up. I mean, maybe like that. I don't really see much of a pattern, or that's just kind of how I'm just analyzing the candles. But again, you can eventually show hidden bullish divergence, but you need that MACD to cross over to green. Not too sure. Blue, you have a gap fill to 545. I like how you kind of spent pretty much a whole entire 2 months flipping your previous resistance into a support. Really, as long as you're above 356, you're good, but you're kind of in the middle of a support and your gap fill. They're already down 5% today. Daily not looking so hot. 4-hour classic bullish divergence is developing on the 4-hour. A lot of these weed stocks are looking a little bit oversold here. But the thing is, they were oversold for like years. I mean, obviously. So I'm not too sure how they're going to perform. I'm not caught up with legislation right now. And so your next supports are like pretty much like the lower end of $15. You might not ever get there if the classic bullish divergence does play out. BS Drive Shack. I think BurgerFi had earnings like today or tomorrow or something. Did pull back quite a bit today. Let's go on the daily. It's not showing it. I might be wrong. Drive Shack though, your level to hold is 304 pretty much. Hold that and you're fine. That was your highest point during last summer. And you did back test it as support on March 30th. You sold off for like 4 days in a row, then you put in a bullish pin bar candle, and now you're kind of just going a little bit sideways, relatively flat today. Don't see much of a pattern, however, or divergence. COP, oh my gosh. Joe, great job last night requesting COP. It was up like 5 or 6% today at one point. And yeah, you did get that bounce off of $50, and not only did you get the bounce, you even gapped up. And then you broke this supply line. You're still showing the classic bullish divergence, and the daily hidden bullish divergence is developing. If it does backtest this previous resistance tomorrow, which would probably be around like $52, it could provide a nice entry. You could just enter there, throw your stop loss under $50, and then target 57. But great job with that request last night. Definitely technicals played out this morning. TRCH build a gap. Other than that, I'm not too sure. I don't see a pattern or divergence. And you're not really out of support. 146 looks like it could be your support in my opinion. And it's a really choppy chart regardless. HQY, could this be a bat? Let's see. It's pretty close to a bullish bat. So I'd say 65 is the level. Okay, look at this. All right, so 65 was where you literally bounced off of on April 8th. That was your lowest point during this sell-off. And then if we go back in time, 65 was also your support right here and right over here. Kind of your resistance there, even though it got above it. 65, hold above that and you're fine. Next major resistance is like $74.80. So that's HQY. Christian, do you want Luna the crypto? Let me know. So what's up, matey? 181 rum, is that a stock or are you talking about liquor? I'm not too sure. Luna. Oh, Starbucks, okay. Luna, Starbucks, the crypto. I didn't put in the crypto, so let me do that. DNN. Alright. So Starbucks going crazy. Just really all it's done since the COVID crash is go up. So you are definitely showing not really anymore. If you look at that previous island, you're not showing 4-hour bearish divergence. However, if you look at the daily, you potentially could show it at some point, but it's way too early to call it. So I wouldn't worry about it for now. I mean, at this point, this kind of looks like a rising wedge, though. Yeah, you tried to break over it today, you just couldn't. So you're testing that supply line on Starbucks. I would call this a rising wedge. But again, you could break over it. So just because it's a bearish pattern doesn't mean you can't break over the supply line and keep running. I mean, all it's done is run. Obviously you have your pullbacks, but that's really how I'm looking at it. Other than that, not too sure. You're miles away from like major supports. Luna the crypto, you're starting to show some hidden bullish divergence on the daily, on the MACD, and on the RSI. Right there. Alright, and then if we look at the 4-hour, really not much of an edge. I mean, I wouldn't even really look at it as a harmonic for now. I just say you want to get back above 1572, which was your low over here, and now you're kind of using that as resistance. Okay. DNN, I like the higher lows. Again, potential 3 rising valleys, but you have a lot of work to do. So first valley, second valley, potential third valley, but you could always break under $1. Really what you want to do is break over 135 before you fall under $1. That's not going to be easy, but if it does happen, then you could see a crazy run because that's the 3 rising valleys, but I don't really see any divergence or anything that's helping you out aside from that. I'd say your next support's 98 cents from that low over there. Ship. Yeah, keep dropping tickers in the chat. I don't know, just running through them. HUT8 Mining Corp. Alright. I mean, all this thing does over time historically is drop. So that's not good. Alright. And like, it's not like it's just like one like big drop, it's like all it does is drop. I mean, of course you have your random pumps, like obviously you went from 48 cents to 250 over there, but like it could be tradable, sure, but like for like a long-term hold, I don't know anything about the company, but the chart is telling me that people are not happy with what they're doing. All right, you are showing 4-hour and daily classic bullish divergence. If that divergence plays out, I mean, your resistances are 113 and 140, and then your support is around like 85 cents. HUT, really not a technical play in my opinion. I don't really see anything here that stands out to me from a technical standpoint. Maybe it could be good fundamentally. I don't know anything about it though. So, yeah, you probably just have this supply line, and that's really it. It's a ship that got stuck. IPWR. Take a look at that. HUT, MF. You're showing hidden bullish divergence. It doesn't look terrible. It's you just probably want to start making some higher lows. I mean, if you ever break this supply line right here, and we're talking, right? It wouldn't take too much work to break that, but did you fill the gap? You almost filled the gap. I don't think you filled it to the cent. Yeah, you didn't actually fill the gap. The gap is pretty much at $9.99, so you'd have to go down to $9.99 to technically fill the gap on the daily, but you are showing hidden bullish divergence. You're trying to start, you know, the bulls are getting in some buying orders right now. We'll see how it does. You also want to break back above 1082. That's your resistance. And then HUTM, that was the same one. What's up, Mason? XLM. LGHL. I mean, XLM just been going crazy. I think as long as you're above, what is that, 61 cents? Oh my gosh, this thing's at 61 cents. There's just some cryptos I haven't seen in a few months, and it's just crazy looking at how high they've gone since last time I looked at them. But XLM, as long as you're above 61 cents, you're good. That was your high from over here. Maybe it does turn into a cup and handle at some point. Maybe it already was a cup and handle with that pullback, but you already broke the neckline. If it was once, you probably would not want to fall back under it. And obviously, just like any other crypto, probably depends on Bitcoin to not dump. And in terms of like targets, you probably just go from this swing high down to the swing low. And you went up to the 1272, you pulled back there, your 1618 would be like 79 cents or 78.5 cents. LGHL, you're just trying to hang on at 314, which used to be a resistance right over here. You can hold above it, you're fine. No divergence on the daily, but on the 4-hour, no, it's not divergence either. So you're just trying to hang on at 314 if you can. I mean, there's a gap filled to like 443. But other than that, I'm not too sure. DNLI. Long wedge, quadruple classic bullish divergence. I definitely do see classic bullish divergence on the 4-hour. And then we'll line up the falling wedge on the daily. Definitely quadruple classic bullish divergence on the daily. Just gonna chart it kind of like that. It's definitely there and it's confirmed. You also have the 200-day moving average. This is very, very textbook. Good job, Guy in Hat. Yeah, this looks great. This looks amazing. I really like this nice green candle. Technically wasn't a bullish engulfing candle because he opened a little bit higher, but he definitely did close over that previous red candle. And yeah, as long as you're holding that 200-day moving average, which is currently at 52 bucks, it's a pretty bullish chart looking for a reversal. There's no like ice line or anything, but let's see, you know, if there's anything else here. I mean, maybe we're talking about a bat. No, it couldn't be a bat. Maybe. We'll see. You were not at the 886. You were pretty close to a bat. I mean, the 886 was a little bit further away. And again, I'm kind of picking like a pretty weird swing low. That's not really like a super clear swing low. Just trying to, I don't know, add to it. But regardless of any harmonic, it still looks good. So, yeah. ENLI, I'll keep it on the watch list. Good job, Guy in Hat. Alright, keep that right there. Do you still trade altcoins? Yeah, not as much lately, but I definitely do here and there. But yeah, any other tickers you want me to look at? It's not really like I don't know, probably just gonna be a very quick stream. We've been live for what, like half an hour? Yeah, about half an hour. Probably just gonna really just cover everything, kind of get out of here, see you all tomorrow, but we'll look at a few more if you want to. Beyond, I was looking at Beyond today. Just go down to the 1 hour. I was thinking about trading it like this, only because at the time you were above the VWAP, a bunch of different moving averages, and like a Bollinger Band, but it just was not confirming, so I never put it out, and I didn't trade it. And that's why sometimes things could look good for a little bit, but you always want to wait for confirmation, because it fell right back under 136. If you go out to the daily, you can see 136 is a pretty important level, which used to be your support here. Recently it's been your resistance, so never ended up putting that out today. So thankfully I didn't, because it wouldn't have worked out. But in terms of like an actual swing trade for the midterm, Beyond's been looking great ever since it was at 130. I've been looking at it since like way above it was 130, and then Guy in Hat brought it up recently. You have a cipher, not a cipher, a bat. You have a bullish bat that's playing out currently. Kind of like that. So you do have a bullish bat, a bullish bat playing out with a bunch of divergence. Really, as long as you're above 129, you're good. You know, 129 is that level you want to hold. It was your highs over here, and it was your recent support for a few days. You can see you never really closed a candle under 129 anywhere over here. So as long as you're above 129, it looks good. Tattooed Chef, CBAT. Kind of looks like a descending triangle on TTCF that's breaking to the downside. Your MACD does not look great on the daily or the 4 hour. So nothing really sticks out to me here. I mean, it could be a butterfly, but you'd have to go way deeper to get to your PCZ. So I'm just not too sure. I don't really see anything that stands out to me here. Not saying it's going to continue falling. I just don't see any bullish technicals for right now. But that doesn't mean it can't go up. We'll have to see. CBAT, you're just trying to hang on to 452. As long as you're above that, you're fine. You did fill the gap. You're at a major make or break area. You're holding above it for now. As long as you can continue to do that, it's fine. You are showing classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour chart. I really don't see much of a pattern though. Bearish shark on daily could have been for sure. Yeah, just looking at futures, NASDAQ and S&P futures up about like 0.20%. Crypto's relatively flat for the last hour, and yeah, I don't know. I think we're just gonna wrap it up there. I'll be live again tomorrow night at the same time, so I'll see you all then. Good luck trading tomorrow. Thanks for coming out. Hit that like button. Let's get to 20 likes if possible. And yeah, peace out.